Good afternoon. This is Paige on May 1st. Today is May 1st at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I am studying for my Hesi exit exam. So, Paige, pay attention, okay? Please ignore the bonnet, and I know I'm breaking out. This is stress acne. We're going to live with it. Ebony is here as well. Today, we're going to go over all of our Miller's information, so that way we can study and be prepared for our Hesi exit exam tomorrow. Okay? So, test taking strategies. Okay? First thing, priority setting. We need to remember the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The first need is physiological needs. So, food, water, shelter, all of that good stuff. Next is safety. We need to remember our safety needs. Third is love and belonging. 4 is self-esteem. 5 is self-actualization. So I like to start with the feet. That's, the feet is what keeps you grounded. Safety is, I put in the stomach, because if you don't feel safe, you have the butterflies in your stomach. Love and belonging is in the heart. Self-esteem comes here, is what you think, and self-actualization is the highest level where you're able to put it all together. So Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You have your physiological, that's your feet, it keeps you grounded. Then safety and belonging. Physiological needs that keep you safe and grounded. Safety needs, safety and security. Okay, do I get butterflies in my stomach? No. Okay. Love and belonging, right here in the heart. That's where we feel love and belonging. Self-esteem, what I think of myself. Self-actualization, it all comes together, okay? The ultimate rule that we need to remember: keep them breathing, keep them safe. That's what's going to keep it all together, okay? Keep them breathing, keep them safe. Key words when you are going over your questions. Who is the client? What is the problem? What are the specifics? What is the time frame? Okay? So, remember, who is the client? Who is the question talking about? What is the question asking you about the person? Then, what's the problem? What is the problem that they are presenting before you? What are the specifics they are asking for? What is the time frame? Okay? These are the key words to look for when you're breaking down the question. I like what Miss Coward said. Hold on. I like what Miss Coward said when it comes to the exam tips. So these are the things you're looking into the question. Determine if the question is a positive or negative. Is the question asking you, something good that needs to be done, or positive results? Or is it asking for something bad is happening? You need to figure out what the question is asking, okay? I also asked don't ask why. If you see why as a response, that's most likely not your answer. Don't leave the patient. So you should always do something. You should never leave. If you need to get help, you still stay with the patient and you go tell the other person to give you help, okay? Don't say, don't worry, or everything's going to be okay. False reassurance. That's one of my biggest things, giving false reassurance. We don't know that they're going to be okay. So just don't say it, When in doubt, just, silence is also an answer. Don't read into the question. So if the question is saying Sally fell and broke her leg, what should we be doing? Don't worry about how did she fall, did someone push her, did she get hit by a car. No, it didn't say all of that. We're not asking all of that. Sally just fell. What should we do? Okay. Don't do nothing. Again, you should always be doing something. I know I see those questions a lot sometimes where it's like, oh, don't do nothing, and I just, You got to do something. I know one of them that says like write it in the chart. That's doing something. Writing it in the chart is doing something. If you're saying I'm just walk away and forget about them, that's doing nothing. But if you're saying at least write it down in the chart, at least call the doctor, that is still doing something. Don't pass the buck, okay? That means don't say, oh, the doctor will take care of it. Oh, so-and-so is going to take care of it. I'll leave this alone. Oh, just go ask your doctor next time you see him. I don't know. Don't do that, okay? That's what not to do. Take care of the client first, then the equipment. So I know we saw a couple questions like that before, and it says stuff like the patient has breathing tube and they're saying they can't breathe properly. What should you do? Our first instinct is, well, let me check the machine, make sure the machine is correct. The machine is probably working fine. The patient saying they can't breathe, check on the patient. Maybe they're lying on their side wrong, or maybe they need to sit up more. Maybe, I don't know, they're smoking in bed and they're not supposed to be smoking. Something they're doing, most likely. And then if you know that nothing physically is going on with them, then you check the machine. The same thing goes, if someone has a catheter in place and they're saying, oh, my bladder hurts now, check for bladder distension. Is the bladder, full and everything? That could explain what's going on. And then you check the tubing to see, okay, are there kinks? Is that, why the bladder's distending now? Because the urine is backflowing into their bladder? That's the kind of stuff that they're checking for. So that's what we need to keep in mind. As Miss Brandy always says, keep them breathing, keep them safe. That's going to be your biggest one. Backup system. So breaking down a question, okay? Look at the structure of the question. Odd man wins. So the answer that is most different in length or content or style is most likely the correct answer. So if all the answers are saying, like, oh, check the blood in this, check the blood in this, check the blood in that, and that's when it says check the urine, it's most likely check the urine, because that's the one, like, oh, the rest of them are saying check the blood and something else. This one's saying check the urine. Most likely. Now, not all the time. You need to understand, what the question is asking. If the question is saying something, like Sally broke her leg, and it's saying check the urine, that's most likely not the answer. If it says check the blood and pedal pulses, that's most likely the answer. Use your common sense, people. Use common sense, okay? Same answer. If 2 or 3 answers say the same thing in different words, none of them are correct. So if they all sound the same, like, that kind of sounds like that kind of sounds like that, they're all probably wrong. Find the one that's different, okay? It's usually something that's the opposite. If one thing says one thing, if the answer says one thing and another answer says something completely different, those are the ones that we need to monitor. One of them is the wrong answer. One of them is the right answer. Look for words that keep getting repeated. So, like I said, if somebody fell and broke their leg, if they keep talking about blood, 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 or pedal pulses or pulses and everything, that's obviously, we're talking about circulation. Is your first concern urine? No. So, that's the stuff that we're keeping away from. Absolutes are usually not true statements. I like that. So it's basically saying if it says only do this or you should only go to the doctor after this, that's most likely not the answer, because there are, several different things to it. Is there anything else for this? No, I think this one is done. So that was for test taking skills. Okay. Let me see if this one, I know this is essential concepts. Okay. We are done with this one. I will start on Essential Concepts 1 and Essential Concepts 2 next.